If you have a lot of fun hanging out with somebody and you think you've got a lot of chemistry, but you don't know if you're compatible, I've got some news for you. It's time to move on. What's up, guys? I'm David Medawar. Just because you really vibe with somebody and their connection is there, it doesn't necessarily mean they should belong in our life. Compatibility and chemistry are two different things, and one doesn't necessarily mean you have the other. Just because you've got that spark, that high feeling where you love being with somebody and they treat you well, you do a lot of fun things together, it doesn't automatically qualify them to be a part of our life in the long haul. Because if it was that easy, why are there so many divorces? Why are there so many breakups? Why are people cheating on each other? Or you're with somebody and all of a sudden they tell you they just don't feel it anymore. The feelings of chemistry are fleeting, because just because you feel it today, it doesn't mean that in a month or two from now, heck, even tomorrow, it's going to be a harder day. So if your foundation is purely chemistry, but your values don't match up, you're not compatible, there isn't friendship as a solid foundation behind all of this, it's going to fizzle out. And I know it's hard to hear, but this is something that we have to look at if we want to make sure we are dating the right people who belong in our life, especially if you're considering marriage, because marriage is a big responsibility. I know in our dating culture today, we have a lot of hookups and friends with benefits. Whatever you're looking for, that's your thing. But consider what I'm talking about if you're looking for something that's viable for the long term and something that's serious. So then you might be wondering, okay, well, we have a lot of chemistry. Why wouldn't we be compatible? Well, there are a couple ways to determine if you would be compatible. Number one, if you removed being physical out of the picture, do you like being around this person? Because if everything is driven by the excitement of being physical, then it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. Just because you guys can really hit it off and have a lot of chemistry and attraction for one another, what happens when you go out on dates or when you're with friends or with family? Are you getting on each other's nerves? I mean, I remember one time I was with somebody where, yeah, there was a lot of chemistry, but whenever we would go out to the restaurants, man, we just could not get over being upset at each other. There was always this issue of it had to be a scene. And that's not really a healthy dynamic you want to be in. It doesn't matter how good the chemistry is. At the end of the day, if you're miserable with who you're with, it's just not worth it in the long haul. Which leads me to number two. Do you feel at peace with this person? Trust your gut. If you always feel like something is off, listen to that. If you always feel like you have to check up on them or you don't trust them, then why are you with them? And finally, number three, are you guys friends at the core of everything? See, just because you have compatibility, do you have a friendship behind your relationship? You should be able to laugh together. Do they get your jokes? Do they laugh at your awful dad jokes? I'll tell you right now, my fiance, whenever I make a dad joke, this is true. If I got an eye roll and there was complete, utter disinterest in who I am as a person, that wouldn't work. And same for her. She wants somebody that appreciates her for who she is. And that's why our dynamic is so good. So look at that. Do they find your personality something very attractive to them? Do they want to be your teammate? Do they want to be a part of your goals? And that's the last thing to look at. What are your goals? Do you guys share them in common? Do you both want kids? Do you both want to live in the same state? Because if you're just looking at the now and the feelings you're having and the highs, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment. And think about it this way. The longer you're with the wrong person, the longer you're putting off being with the right one. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on that bell notifications so that you can see my future videos. And by the way, check out this other video, which I don't know which side YouTube is going to be on, but it's recommending you watch the next one. So feel free to do that. Catch you later.